Okay, so this next video lecture is still the continuation of our module 6. So this is the expenditure cycle part 2 for payroll and fixed asset processes. So to continue, we are now in the physical payroll system. So basically, for a manual payroll system, we have the following key tasks, okay, which that involves, okay, in a payroll system. So first, payroll authorization and hours worked will be entered to the payroll department, okay, from two different sources. So this will be from the personnel or the HR and the production. So here, this will be used as a source document and as a basis for the computation of the hourly rate and the salary or wage that will be paid to the corresponding employee. Second, the payroll department will reconcile this information. Okay, and as mentioned earlier, they will calculate the payroll and later on, the paychecks will be distributed to the employees by the payroll master. Third, cost accounting will receive information regarding the time spent on each job from the production department. So this will be used for posting to our work in process account. Fourth, the accounts payable department will receive the payroll summary information from the payroll department, and after which they will verify it, and if they found out that it's correct or inaccurate, so they will authorize the cash disbursement department to deposit the single check for the interest fund. Okay, this is solely for our payroll in the bank. And number 5, the General Ledger Department will reconcile the summary information from the cost accounting and accounts payable departments, and control accounts will be updated to reflect these transactions. So these are the main key tasks in payroll system. Okay, so for this one is for a manual payroll system. So what we have described is illustrated in this diagram. So to continue, what about for a computer-based payroll system? So here, automating the payroll system using batch processing. In this case, because payroll system run periodically, meaning it can be in a weekly or monthly period, so they are well suited to the batch processing system. So the data will be processed by the department who receives the hard copy of the personal action forms, job tickets, and time cards, which it converts into digital files. So meaning there are source documents in hard copy and they will encode it in a computer. Okay, and then batch computer programs will perform the check writing, the detailed record keeping, and the general ledger function. So meaning this will replace the work of the different department and personnel in a manual system. What about for control implications? So basically, the strengths and weaknesses of this system are similar to those in batch system for general expenditures in our previous module, meaning this system will promote accounting accuracy and it will reduce check writing errors. Beyond this, it does not significantly enhance operational efficiency. However, for many types of organization, this level of technology is adequate, but they have to make sure that in an automated payroll system, they should have they should strengthen the internal control along with it to prevent fraud or error that might happen. Okay, so this is an example of an automated system in a data diagram. Okay, for re-engineering the payroll system. So here, for moderate-sized and large organizations, payroll processing is often integrated within our human resource management system. So the HRM system will capture and process a wide range of the personnel data related data, which includes the employee benefits, labor resource planning, employee relations, skills, personal action, which includes pay rates, deductions, and so on, as well as the payroll. So this HRM system need to provide real-time access to personal files for purposes of direct inquiries and recording any changes in the employee status as they occur. So this system is different from a simple automated system in three ways. First, this has the various department, or in the system, I mean, the various department transmit transaction to data processing via terminal. And second, they have the direct access over the files, and they use it for their intended purposes, and they have their database as their data storage. And third, many processes are now performed in real time. So here we will discuss the key operating features of this system. For personnel department, so here they will make changes to the employee file in real time via the terminals or portals. So these changes will include additions of any new hired employees, deletions of terminated employees, changes in the dependents or the status, for example, of their employees, changes in withholding and job status or pay rate of their employees. So this is how the personal department will have the access over those files, and how can they edit or how can they make any changes. But they have to make sure that this is the only task or responsibility that is given to this department, and other things related to the employee will not be part of their access or responsibility. So for cost accounting, the cost accounting department will enter the job cost data. So this is to create the labor usage file. For the timekeeping, upon the receipt of the approved time cards, the supervisor at the end of the week, the timekeeping department creates the current attendance files. So of course this is important later on in preparing the payroll, or computation of the salaries and wages to be paid to the employees. For data processing, at the end of the work period, so the following tasks are performed in a batch processing system. First, labor costs are distributed to different work in process overhead and expense accounts, in which they relate to. Second, an online labor distribution summary file will be created. So the copies of the file are this will be sent to the cost accounting and the general ledger departments respectively. Third, for an online payroll register, this is created from the attendance file and the employee file. So the copies of the files will be sent to accounts payable department and cash disbursements department. For the employee records file, of course, will be updated real time. Fifth, payroll checks are prepared and signed, and they are sent to the treasurer for review and reconciliation with the payroll register. So the paychecks are then distributed to the employees if these are already verified. Sixth, the disbursement voucher file is updated and a check is prepared for the funds transferred to the payroll impressed account. And then the check and the hard copy of the disbursement voucher will be sent to the cash disbursements. One copy of this voucher will be sent to the general ledger, and the final copy will be to accounts payable department. And number 7, at the end of the processing, the system retrieves the labor distribution summary file and the disbursement voucher file, and they will update the general ledger file for this transaction. So this is the illustration. What about control implications? So here, the real-time features of our payroll system will provide many of the operational benefits discussed before. So this includes reduction in paper, clerical labor, and even the lag time between the event occurrences and the recording time. So as mentioned before, these features will carry control implications. So computer-based systems must produce adequate records for independent verification and audit purposes. Also, controls must be implemented to protect against unauthorized access to data files and computer programs. That's why internal control is very important so that the occurrence of error and especially fraud will be prevented or avoided. Okay, so those are for the physical concepts or system of our payroll system.